What's up, guys? So you guys recommended that I bring the POCO F3 5G on the channel, and guys, I've been really impressed since I've been using this phone. This is really starting to become one of my favorite phones of this year so far. So I'm excited to bring this to you guys. So let's go ahead and get into my 5 reasons why you should pick this up for 2022, even 2023. So first off is this processor. So this phone is running the Snapdragon 870 chipset, and man, this thing has not missed a beat. It is extremely fast, as you can see in these benchmark scores, especially for the price that you get this phone at. I have the link down below, but these typically go for around 350 bucks, maybe a little bit cheaper depending on where you shop. But yeah, so the processor on here is extremely nice on here, especially for, I guess, a mid-range tier type of phone. Really almost running, nearly a flagship processor here, honestly. It feels just extremely fast, does not miss a beat. There are really no animation stutters and stuff like that. It just gets in and out of stuff really fast. Now, as you guys can see, the gaming performance is going to be really nice on this phone. This is the 256 and 8GB version, which is pretty popular online. I have not seen a 6GB version on here. This phone does not have any SD card support, but as you can see, we can go ahead and max out Call of Duty Mobile, and I'll drop a full gaming test for you guys as always. But the gaming performance has been pretty good on this phone. You can do some pretty intense gaming on here, really no problem. It, like I said, does not miss a beat. As far as heating is concerned, this phone does not really get that hot for me. Now, like I said, I'm gonna put that through the pace and just throw a bunch of intense games back to back, see how it does. But as far as performance, this is a phone that you can buy and play games no problem. Really, any game you throw at it, it is going to do a pretty good job here. So like I said, guys, performance on this phone really impressed me here. It is just super fast. It plays anything you throw at it. It does not miss a beat. Doesn't matter what you're doing. It is just really nice experience. All right, so next let's talk about the screen on here. So you do have a 6.67 inch AMOLED display. It is 120 hertz, guys, and it is just really nice. It's got a full 1080p resolution on here. It's 395 for the PPI, so it's a fairly sharp panel as well too when you look up close. It's a completely flat screen as well too, and it even gets up to 1300 nits peak brightness, so this phone does do pretty good outdoors as well. So as far as display, just watching content on here, it's just really nice. It's a very vibrant and nice display. So really, like I said, zero issues. Playing games that support the 90 frames is really awesome since it has 120 hertz, and there's not really too much bezel on this phone as well too. I think the screen to body ratio is about 85.9% if I'm mistaken, so basically 86%. Yeah, so I've just been loving the screen on here. It's a really nice high quality screen. Alright, so one of the next best things about this phone is the design and additional features here. So this design is just really nice. It's the Arctic white color. There's a blue color as well too that I really like. But I really like how Xiaomi has the camera module set up on this phone. I think it still looks really stylish as well too. I think the only thing I don't like about the design is this branding right here. But everything else is just a really nice, beautiful, clean phone. It is a glass back on here, and it has that really nice soft texture on here, and you can't really see fingerprints. That's why I really like this white color as well. It's almost kind of like a silver color as well too. Now the railings on here, they're plastic, they're not metal, but still in a total package it still gives off a very premium looking phone, and it still feels pretty premium as well too. This phone is IP53 dust and splash resistant as well too, so it's not quite water resistant. So what that means is that if it's raining kind of hard outside, then this phone won't break or anything like that. All right, so I got them at max volume. So if you do cover the bottom speaker, the top speaker does put in a pretty nice good amount of work, and it does have pretty good bass quality. Like I said, it is loud. Are they the best and most amazing sounding stereo speakers I've heard? No, but they do get the job done, so I really don't have any issues. And also this phone does have a pretty strong vibration motor as well too. So this phone does not have a headphone jack, which I would have thought would have made this phone over the top. I thought that would have been crazy if it did, but unfortunately it does not. But what this phone does have is the IR blaster, which some of you guys probably don't care about the IR blaster, but it's one thing that I love. I always love Xiaomi phones for this. So you can see you got the Mi remote on here. I use the POCO X3 Pro, and I'm going to switch to this one now as my main phone to control all the displays in my house and stuff like that. So just to be able to use one remote to control all TVs in your house and stuff like that, basically like a universal remote. These can control air conditioners and stuff like that. So I really do love the IR blaster, guys. It is a really nice feature to have. Of course, this phone does have NFC as well. And like I said, it has a lot of the features that a lot of people would really love. Also, I think a very slept on feature is the fingerprint scanner. So it is a physical one, and it's built into the power button. And I've always loved this method since the Galaxy S10e. And it works flawlessly on here too. It just feels more natural than the in-display one to me. So I've always preferred this, because you don't really think about unlocking the phone since your finger is already going to the power button. It just feels more natural. Alright guys, next is going to be the camera. So this is also one of the more impressive parts of this phone. I thought the cameras were going to be just kind of weak. I was like, man, there's got to be a weak spot somewhere on this phone. But the cameras were actually pretty good. So it's got a 48 megapixel standard and 8 megapixel ultra wide, and then a 5 megapixel macro, which a lot of people hate, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't like the 2 megapixel macros. Shoots in 4K 30, and then you also have a 20 megapixel selfie that shoots in 1080p 60 on here. So image quality is actually pretty good. I was really impressed with the selfies on here. It just got skin tones really well, shockingly. I didn't like lighten my skin or anything like that. I thought that was awesome. Dynamic range is pretty good on here. It handles colors really nice as well too. The ultra wide is also pretty close to the main lens as well. It does a good job at, you know, the 2x and zooming in the shots and stuff like that. And like I said, I thought the macro was pretty good. The color science is pretty good. And honestly, believe it or not, it does somewhat of a pretty decent job in sort of like medium to low light. I was just really impressed with this phone's image quality, especially for the price. And also I thought the video quality was pretty nice as well too. I took it out even in not the best lighting conditions. It was storming and raining. I just wanted to see, and I'll show you guys the video, but it did a pretty impressive job. So image quality on here, you can get some pretty nice shots out of this phone, whether it be the main lens camera or even the selfie cam. I was pretty impressed with image quality on here. Alright guys, it is a rainy day outside here, so I thought it'd be pretty interesting to see how it just performs with all this noise and you know, not good lighting conditions, I guess, but it is doing pretty well here. Quick pan. What do you guys think of the video? Now you do have a pretty nice sized battery on this phone, and that would be the last thing. This phone so far has had very good battery life. So it has a 4,520 milliamp battery, 33 watt fast charging as well. You do get the charger in the box as well too, which is really nice. And then I guess the only negative thing you can say about this phone is that it doesn't have wireless charging. So if you're, you know, really into wireless charging, yes, you will miss that feature. But the 33 watts does charge pretty fast. Like I said, it's not as crazy as we saw with that 120 watt charging with the Note 11 Pro. But this does charge at a pretty decent speed, which I really like. Screen on time, you can easily go for all day. So I do consider this an all day phone, getting over 6 hours of screen on time. So battery life is pretty good on here. So I'm pretty impressed with the POCO F3 here. You got 5G, you got the 120 hertz, you got a great design, you got a fast chip on here, good cameras. It's just a really solid phone for the price point. So very impressed. What do you guys think about this phone? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.